Hey, welcome back to my channel. We hadn't cooked supper together in must have been about 2 weeks, so I thought, well, tonight's the night. There's a couple little tips I thought might help, but it's a straightforward, easy supper, but there's just a couple little tips that might help you if you are behind the 8 ball. Like today, Holly and Jacob were over, so I didn't get my chicken thawed, but you're going to see it didn't matter. And there's a shortcut I take in my chicken casserole that when I'm feeling lazy, which is a lot, and that's how it came about, it's because I was lazy, but it works. So just a couple little things that I thought, even though it's a simple meal, might help you. So let's eat, y'all. So to get started, we got to cook our chicken. And it is completely frozen, if you can hear that. So I wanted to show you that if you forget to take it out, you can still get your chicken cooked. So just add your water. The little small one takes a half a cup. I don't measure it. I just pour some down the bottom. And we're going to cook these for 14 minutes. We will let them naturally release for 10 minutes, which that usually is enough to settle it down, and then we'll take them out and shred them. Okay, so it's rested and naturally released for 10 minutes. We're going to see if it's close to being done. See, 10 minutes is pretty much completely. Now, before we go on with our chicken, let me get this out of the way. I have an extra liner pot. This is the handiest thing you can do, is to have 2 pots for times like this. And what I have in here is some field peas and snaps. It's just the frozen half a bag. We eat like half a bag at each time. And I have still some of my side meat left from the mountains. So I'm just going to throw a couple of them in there. The reason why I want to go ahead and get this started is because these take longer to cook than the chicken. And just cover those will be fine. Since they're not dried, they're not going to soak in all the water as if they were dried. Put the lid back on. Then we're going to cancel it. And these, I think I'm going to give them 25 minutes just to make sure they're done. We like a good tender bean. So now let's move over and start on our casserole. Okay, I drained them off screen. We're going to shred them with our hand mixer, and you'll see how tender they got done, as if they were unthawed. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Now, I'm just going to mix everything right here in this pot. No need to mess up another bowl. We're going to use 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, and I'm using the Healthy Request version of the Walmart brand. Then we're going to do half a can of milk. I'm just using skim milk. Eight ounces of sour cream. Now I'm using the light instead of the, let me drain that. Fat-free. Now, 8 ounces would be half this container, and so that is almost half used. So I'm just going to eyeball. You can measure if you want to. Sometimes we like onion. Sometimes we don't. I'm feeling like tonight we do. So just a little raw onion. And we're going to stir this around. Now we use 2 cups of cheese, and I'm using the Velveeta shreds, the cheddar, and this is 2 cups in this package. Stir that around. Okay, we're going to set this aside a second. Let me clean this up and I'll be back. Now, it uses a box of stuffing mix. I just have the Food Line brand, chicken stuffing. Normally you would just make it as directed on the box. Years ago, before I ever started Weight Watchers, I was lazy one day. There's no other way to say it. I was lazy. I didn't feel like making the stuffing. So all it needs to be is softened up. And the extra butter, to me, I have never been able to tell the difference, because this is pretty much how I do it, unless I'm just feeling fancy. What I did while I was cleaning up is I run the water hot, and I'm going to pour just enough hot water in here to get like the top half. It is spilling everywhere. And so you just kind of work that around to soften up the crumbs. About half the bag. And then we're going to pour it right here in the bottom. Just kind of spread it around. Now it helps if you shake the bag first, which I forgot to do, because most of your seasonings are at the bottom. So we'll just add that, and then we'll set that aside. And then we just put all of our casserole mixture right on top. Spread the pan. It's a 9x13. I sprayed it, and I have the oven preheated to 350. Well, I just flung that everywhere. And then take the rest of our moistened stuffing. You can see it's been sitting there, so it got a little bit softer than what's on the bottom. I'll tell you what, let me just... This will go in the oven, like I said, at 350 for 30 minutes. Okay, I thought I had my camera running. That's the broccoli in the bag, steaming in the bag in the microwave. It says cook 3 minutes, 1 minute if you want it soft. No, we want it real soft, so I put it on 8 minutes. I can make it early while the casserole's in the oven, because he is going to, every single time, reheat it with some cheese on it, so if it gets cold, it doesn't matter. So anyway, the broccoli is going while the casserole and the beans are going. Okay, so the broccoli's done. I'm just going to let it sit here a minute before I cut it out, just to cool off just a minute. And the beans and the casserole are still going. Okay, the chicken casserole is done. This is 6 servings, so I'm just going to eyeball. There's the middle. That's about 6. And then we will get some broccoli and carrots. Now you can see it shrivels up to not much. So I'll get actually mostly carrots, because that's not really David's favorite part. Not mine either, but it's what they had. And I will just put some spray butter on mine, and he'll melt cheese in the rest of the bowl for his. And then we'll go over here and get some beans. Okay, so the beans are ready. Yeah, I'm actually talking to the camera. But for you, the beans are ready. And there you have our supper tonight. Chicken casserole, broccoli and carrots, field peas and snaps. Took me 45 minutes start to finish only because I had to wait on the casserole to bake and the beans to cook. But it was so simple to throw together. You saw that. So there you have it. Okay, I will see you in my next video.